right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors to apostles of GMS who have the 100% truth. All right. And the Akiums, who's in the highways and byways, doing the Lord's will diligently, doing the work. And I'm going to start off with Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord Yahweh, and depart from evil. Right? And the times we're in right now, it's wise to take heed to what the apostles, the prophets have been telling us, man. To come into this time where we're seeing a lot of evil take place on this earth. Evil wickedness is increasing. We have famines that's on the horizon. We have the crisis that's happening in Cuba currently right now, where there's a major blackouts. Okay, we're talking about 98%, 99% of the whole city is damn near in blackout, unless it's the government facilities, etc. All right, which has power. Then we're seeing what's going on in Iran, right? The Strait of Hormuz, where they're holding tankers, oil tankers. They're holding these ships and not allowing them to go into these nations, Europe, the USA, and other countries. All right, due to the war between the small hats and Iran. All right, and the U.S. being involved. Also, these nations are watching to see how Babylon is taking how Babylon is faring in this war, basically, and they're seeing that Israel, small hats, all right, and Babylon, which is the USA, all right, of America, are actually losing, all right. So let's let me play this clip right here.
Afghanistan wars where they needed to fill ranks. So they upped the age and then they changed it back.
Let me start it.
So the war machine is turning right now. Did you hear that the Army's enlistment age has gone up to 42? They haven't done this since like 2006 during the Iraq-Afghanistan wars where they needed to fill ranks. So they upped the age and then they changed it back after 2016. Well, they changed it again. I mean, we all know that this younger generation, they don't want to go fight. They've already said that they don't want to fight this war.
And that's another thing. The young men of this generation, listen, they'd rather be on TikTok, making TikTok dances. They'd rather be going out to the movies with the gal. They rather do a lot of things but entertain this war. The most Yahawashi Yasha has lifted up the skirt of this place, man. Showed this place for this establishment, the government for what they truly represent and what they truly are, especially when the files came out on these elites messing with doing all types of wickedness, all right, messing with children and all types of wickedness that they're doing. People are seeing like, why would I go fight? And especially the small hats, right? Why would I go fight for these guys who are just sitting there, all right, doing all forms of wickedness behind closed doors, all right, and why would I send my sons and daughters to go die in a war that we didn't even agree to? And we don't even like we don't even like the establishment. We don't even agree with their policies. We're broker than ever. We cannot even get a decent wage. Many of these Babylonians, all right, has turned their back on this place. Okay, they no longer believe in voting. Okay, you don't think DT realized this? You don't think Trump realized this? You don't think these elites are seeing that they're losing the propaganda war against their own people? They're not able to keep them under a certain delusion when it comes to the a so-called American dream, right? So the apostles, they've been and the prophets have been saying this, man. You know, the times we're in are very troubled sometimes. So I'm gonna put this scripture up. What's gonna go to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 30. All right. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 30. And this is where we're at right now. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. And that's the story of this place, man. That's the bitter end of Babylon, what they were known for, being the hammer of the earth, okay, going around and just causing mayhem and havoc upon other nations and their fragile establishments and their fragile leaderships, okay? But now they've stepped up to the right ones, okay? Iran ain't no pushover, right? And they have the backing of of Russia, and Russia hasn't even stepped in yet. Can you imagine that? And the small hats in Babylon, they're in America, they're having a hard time just getting their way with Iran. Normally, what did Trump say? He said this is going to be over in 48 hours. He thought this was Venezuela. He thought he could just fly in, capture their leader. Yeah, they destroyed their leader, right, of Iran, but another one was in place. The mission is in place still. Okay. And what did they say? Death to Babylon. They burnt a Baal statue throughout Iran, Baal statues with the small hats in America on the statues, letting you know what? This place will be burned down with fire. And this is why we do what we do, to let you know, the elect know, the Israelites, come back to your Lord, Yahawashi Yahushai. Yahweh being the Father, Yahushua being the Son. Come back, because this place has a target on its back. And while you're trying to build in this place, these other nations have utter destruction prepared for this place, ready to put its flames out. Okay? Because you got to understand, the people of Babylon, especially these Edomites, they still think they're on fire. Okay? Meaning what? They still think they have that military might. They still think that they're able to do what they've been doing. They don't see their utter demise coming. They don't see the end coming for them in their minds. And what does the Bible say about that? What? Their pride have deceived thee. Let's go into that. We're going to go to Obadiah chapter 3, verse 4. Obadiah chapter 3, verse 4. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? And that's what America says in their heart, man. That's what these Babylonians say in their heart. That's what they really truly believe. Who shall bring me down to the ground? They poke out their chest throughout the four corners of the earth. Like, who's going to bring me down? Who's my opponent? Right? And of course, the American people don't agree to this. They're like, oh, man, we don't want to go to war. If you see a lot of videos out there, the position that the average Edomite family, the household, they don't want to send their daughters and sons to war. They're trying to figure out their rent situation. They're trying to figure out their living situation, student loan debts. They don't want to go to war. It's not like the Vietnam War. It's not like World War I or World War II. They do not want to do this, man. And I'm not saying those other generations didn't want to do it, but they were sold a propaganda dream that you're doing it for your country, right? You're doing it to keep your family safe. Your sacrifice, your death is going to save millions, right? Well, these young generations, Gen Z, and the ones after and the ones before them, right? They're seeing the truth for what it is now. They don't believe this crap. Not at all. Now we're gonna go into what Yahoo, Mr. Yahoo. We're gonna call him Mr. Yahoo. We're gonna go into what Mr. Yahoo has to say, man, and this is gonna go further into their pride has deceived them. You know, they're very prideful, man. Let's pull up this video.
Want to be naive.
In this video, he says Jesus has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Evil overcomes good. This is the ones that claim that they're the chosen, right? This is the one that claims that they're the chosen people. How is their leader coming out saying evil overcomes good? Well, sir, the Bible disagrees with you. They don't go off of Torah. They don't go off of New Testament. Obviously, it disagrees with everything they stand for. Everything they stand for. And before I even play that video, before I even get into that, let's pull up the scripture. Let's pull up the scripture. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2, because we have to bring it out. We have to let the people know that these are not the chosen people. The chosen people are, right, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right, who have been scattered four corners of the earth. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Aren't they mourning in the Middle East? Aren't they mourning in Babylon? Aren't they mourning all over the globe? Right? Because you got to understand, in the Strait of Hormuz, what this war is doing, right? It's a choke point. They're stopping oil from being distributed around the world. That's going to bring increased prices in gas, increased prices in medicine, increased prices in food. People are going to what? They're mourning. If this is the chosen people and they're supposed to be in that land, we should be rejoicing. I don't see anybody rejoicing that they're in the land. I don't see anybody clapping their hands like, yay, they're in the land. You know, we're able to live. People are thinking like, well, when are we going to die? It should be any day now, right? Because their futures, right, it's very blurry. It's not really clear to them, right? They don't know what's going to happen next. Well, the prophets, the apostles, Yahawashi has told you what's going to happen next. And it's in this book. So let's go back to the video.
You know, if people want to be naive, that they don't see the kind of world we're living in. In this world, it's not enough to be moral.
In this world, it's not enough to be moral. Well, sir, Mr. Yahoo, the Bible disagrees with you.
It's not enough to be just.
It's not enough to be just. You hear this? Let's run this back. Just in case you missed it, let's run it back.
Safeguards the future. You know, if people want to be naive, that they don't see the kind of world we're living in. In this world, it's not enough to be moral. It's not enough to be just. It's not enough to be right. You know, one of the greatest writers of the 20th century, someone that I admire a lot, was the historian Will Durant. Now, he wrote many volumes. I read most of them. He also wrote The Lessons of History, very brief, 100-page book, in which he said, well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you have it. You let the devil speak long enough, he's going to tell you where, like, this is just, and we warned you people. We warned you people. The apostles were on the streets and highways and byways for decades, warning you people, letting you know this is the devil. Let's go to Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. We're going to start there because you have to understand, right? This is what they're good at. This is how they were able to get men and women to go into the first war, the second war, and now the third world war. Psalm chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So you have to understand this, right? They're going to try to convince you, hey, yeah, I read a philosopher. He told us, democracy and evil overcomes good. He's trying to woo and smooth over those words into your ears to get you to do what? Send your daughters and sons to war so they can further push their agenda. Right? Right? If you're Israelite, man, if you're a Jake in the military, man, you're cooked. You're fried, man. You're fried. You're out of here. Because this is their leader. This is one of their leaders who is going to convince the American people to go to war and send your sons and daughters to die. Now we're going to go into Psalms chapter 34, verse 21. Let me see where do I want to start. Okay. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. They're going to be desolate. Okay? Right? The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. And we trust in the Lord. The Lord willing of the elect. If you're watching this, pray continuously. Do the work and prepare your household, man. Get your house in order. Because this devil believes every word he said. He believes you guys who are in Babylon or a part of NATO should go fight this war. Right? Now, Trump, on this side, he's already deployed ICE. He's preparing for war. All these nations are gathering their resources. All right. Travel has been cut down. The lines in the U.S. airports have been very long, out the door, around the corner type of ordeal. And Trump has deployed ICE because of the partial government shutdown to assist TSA agents because many of them have quit due to the fact that they're not being paid. They haven't got a check, and I think like they missed like 3 to 4 checks already. Right? So this is what's going on. I'm gonna play this video briefly. It's a quick video.
Where's your bag?
Can someone call 911? What's your name? Show the badge. Where's a badge?
Where's your bag?
Can someone call 911?
Okay.
Where's your badge? Can I see? Let me see your badge.
Okay.
No, can I see your badge? I don't know if that's legitimate. Can I see your badge number, sir? What is your name? What is your name? Where's your badge number? I'm asking for your badge number, sir. What is your badge number? What is your badge number?
This is illegal.
We need to see your badge number.
Show us the
Show
badge.
your badge number.
Show us the badge.
This is an illegal arrest. Show the badge number.
Okay, we'll wait
I
here.
need to see your
Ma'am,
badge
step
number.
back, step back.
I don't know who you are. You could be someone kidnapping
back.
her.
Okay, we should call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. Okay. And we're going to end it off with this because you people have been warned. Take heed. Continue, okay, to get yourself in order. Continue, okay, to dot your I's and cross your T's because this devil is going to come down with great wrath. All right? For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. Okay? Let me see. Let me go into verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay? So you must understand the times that we're in right now is very crucial for you to take heed, man. Okay? This devil's going to come down with great wrath, and he's not going to spare any with the sword. Okay? It's going to be through Yahawashi that, we even make it through a time like this. So with that being said, Shalom. And give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakadash. And I'll catch you on the next one, Lord willing.